Okay, so the last feature we're going to look at is called beach rock or sand rock. Okay, now this one again occurs just like our storm beaches. This occurs around the Bahamas quite a lot due to the sediment and sand type we have. Okay, so it's a common feature on Bahamian beaches. Alright, it's easy broken and will often crumble between your fingers if you pick it up. So I've just written drawn a little arrow out here down to this figure. Okay, so you can see it's used in construction. It's quite a pretty, quite a nice finished rock. Alright, but again, it forms very quickly and is eroded very quickly. So you wouldn't build a full house out of it, but it can be used for building walls and small structures. We'll look back to figure 7.33 in a moment. Here's a picture of it on the coastline in Sansal. Alright, so note the smooth surfaces and the straight edges. Okay, so you can see this is almost a perfect square piece. We've got very straight edges all along here, and it naturally breaks up into slabs. You can see more of it here out on the edge of the sea. Okay, on the previous page, page 109, again what you can see here is the straight joints. Okay, this is some in New Providence. You can see the straight lines which make it almost look human made or man made, but because it forms so easily and so quickly, the joints are even more pronounced in this beach rock. Okay, this has also led to the confusion amongst a lot of people to believe that it's actually constructed by man rather than by nature. Okay, so on to page 111 again, just to continue on about beach rock. It can often crumble between the fingers. Alright, so it's very easy to actually break up, even though it looks very solid. Alright, so okay, so just some features of it first of all. Right, so it's very easy to break up. It's a very porous rock. Okay, and you can easily see the grains involved in it and the pores in it. It's got a smooth surface. Alright, and it's obviously sandy in color, which isn't rocket science. Quite often it'll be stained black by bacteria on the surface though. Okay, so how is it developed? How is it made? So it is developed from the beach sand under the surface of the beach. So again, it's essentially a sedimentary rock in the very early stages of sedimentation or cement or being compacted. All right, so if you were to dig down under some beaches, you would come to this beach rock. All right, it forms large regular sized rectangle blocks. All right, it erodes quickly, and it is this uniformity that has led people to believe that long stretches of beach rock are in fact man-made roadways from years ago. All right, for example, the Bimini Road, which is actually just slabs of beach rock which have been submerged under the sea. All right, even though a lot of people call it the road to Atlantis, so because it looks like they were laid down by people. All right, so as we've already said, it's a useful purpose for building garden walls. All right, but you wouldn't want to build a whole house from it because it erodes so quickly. Wind and storms and stuff would impact it massively. And again, just to emphasize how quickly it forms, alright, you can actually find quite modern day rubbish inside some of the slabs and garbage and bits and random pieces of glass and stuff. Okay, so it forms very quickly. Alright, it's like an early sedimentary rock that hasn't gone through the full process yet. Alright, so there's a question on your assignment from around here that you'll need to answer. We're just going to look at a quick PowerPoint of some pictures of this stuff. I'll go through your assignment very quickly and we're done. Okay, so we're on our PowerPoint. Alright, I just want to continue on. So just some very simple stuff to look at. Again, you can actually, these are like the fjords in New York, okay, or in Norway, sorry, not New York. They're very, very dramatic landscapes. You can see the huge steep cliffs on both sides, okay, so it's a narrow channel. This is the one that's flooded. It used to be covered in ice or a glacier, and now it's been flooded, okay. Let me just see if this works. Norway is full of fjords. Okay, so this is the coast of Norway, ocean out here. We got the ocean out here, you got the land here. All of these blue channels coming in here that look like trees, these are all flooded fjords, all coming in from the coast. Notice the dark blue color, which shows that they're actually very, very deep water. Okay, so that's what our fjords would look like. Don't want to do that. The next one then is a ria. Now a ria would be much more flatter land because it was just a river valley. So the river would have originally come through here and out to the sea. but the sea levels have risen and flooded that. So what you have is this expanse of water. Now these are images of Sydney, downtown Sydney, okay? And you can see how much water there is, okay? Very flat land, very gentle sloping, okay? So they've actually built a lot of stuff up around Sydney here. We're not going to do that. Now, a couple of things. Why do you think we have to just do a little bit about beaches around the world? They have different colour sands, so this wasn't included in the textbook, okay? So what do you think is the main factor that determines the colour of the beaches in a place? Have a little think to yourself. Alright. What we have then is, I want you to make a little note. This can be a little subheading under your keywords, and then you can write down this bit in black, okay? Beaches are made from sand particles. The colour of the sand is determined by the geological material the sediment or the sand came from. So for example, the islands of Hawaii have a lot of beaches which have black sand. This is because the islands are volcanic and made from basalt. As this black rock is eroded by the sea, it's broken into tiny sand particles which are black. Alright, so some of the beaches in Hawaii are black, not all of them. Alright, okay, because what has to happen is obviously we need the sediment to be broken down from that rock and also then find a place to be deposited. So that doesn't always happen. They're they need particular conditions to occur, but this is the main reason here, okay? So you can see just some of the black sands of Hawaii just here. That's what their beach looks like, okay? It would still be very fine grained sand, but just a different color because of you can see in the background the black basalt that they were made from. Obviously we have our pink sand beaches, so you can do a little subheading of our pink sand beaches here, and then this note as well. So the light pink sands gets its hue or its colour from thousands of broken coral pieces, shells and calcium carbonate, materials left behind by foraminifera, alright, that live in the coral reefs that surround the beach. So tiny marine creatures with red and pink shells. So that is where the pink sands actually come from. Upon closer inspection, if anybody's been up to Harbour Island and Eleuthera and so on, if you scoop up a handful of this, very few of the particles are actually pink, okay? So the closer you get, in my opinion, the less pink it looks. But we need to make a note of this. This is where our pink sand comes from, okay? So you can see the difference. It's very simple. The black one is made from basaltic rock. Our one is made from coral reefs and shells and calcium carbonate. Also, just a little note of the parrotfish. This fish eats and digests a lot of coral, alright, and then excretes it from its system. So these fish actually make up to 80% of all the very, very fine white sand that you see. So the softest, finest sand is actually made through these parrotfish, which might mean some of you never sit on a beach again, considering where the sand has been. Another little picture of our beach rock. Okay, you can see these slabs and see the black colour because of the bacteria on them, but again, this is what our beach rock looks like in some examples. The Bimini Road as well, underwater, again it's shallow water, you got these slabs which look like they've been placed by people, alright, but we've obviously explored how they form now. Last little thing is, I'll attach an assignment, okay, there's a worksheet with about 5 or 6 questions. It's not due till next Thursday. Answer all questions, alright, on folder sheet and get it sent to me. So I'll run through that very, very quickly. Okay, let me just check how long we've left. Okay, so our sheet looks like this. Okay, it's gone away. Let me just... Okay, so sorry, our worksheet looks like this. Okay, so you scroll down, you got question 1 to 5, 20 marks. Very simple, place all of these as coastal deposition or coastal erosion. Shouldn't be too difficult, they're all in Bahamian Landscapes and Bunnet. Explain how beaches are formed, again we did that in Bunnet. Explain why Bahamian beaches have pink or white sands, or some have black sands, we've just done that. Name 2 native and 2 invasive species of vegetation on sand dunes, we've looked at examples of those. And from a geological perspective, what is the Bimini Road? Explain how it could have formed. Alright, so just explain how beach rock forms and how it ended up under the ocean. Alright, so that is your homework.